page, yes, there are. Hala inspires elephants to 2023 AFCON triumph, and Cote d'Ivoire 2023 AFCON awards list in full. That will be all for the Ghanaian Times newspaper. I'll do the Daily Guide newspaper next. The Daily Guide newspaper. Bawumia better than Mahama, Kofi Bentil says so. 7 caged over Jurapa Dubai boss murder. Man jailed 50 years for robbery. 259 assemblies inaugurated. And Nana jabs Mahama over Wasi results. Center spread, I never got pregnant for a pastor. And we see a picture of Efia Schwarzenegger and Sally Ekia Amwako. I think there was a feud somewhere last week. I don't know if I should call it a feud or a beef or something that was going on, trending on social media. And Efia alleged that Sally was pregnant for a pastor and all of that. But she's come out to say and debunk that it's never been true. Davido is a joke, says Burna Boy. Ever premieres March 6th, and I'm proud to say that I know this lady behind this movie. Sichope is doing so well. Hopefully we'll have them here to tell us more about Ever before it gets premiered. Congratulations, Sicho. That is a great movie, actually. It talks about domestic violence. And on the 6th of March, I urge every single one of you to go to the place to have a look at this movie, the premiere. I will be there myself, so I can't wait to meet all of you. I think it will be premiering at the Silverbird Cinema. Yes, so let's all be there to have a look at this movie. The back page, Olympic door open for Messi. Ivory Coast lift third AFCON crown. Barca won't throw in the towel yet. And marathon record holder dies in accident. Wow, that's sad. May his soul rest in peace. The New Finder newspaper. Roll over restrictions on 142 medicines. Pharmaceutical sector divided in a heated debate. VIP's tax reforms good but can't wait till 2025, says Professor Lord Mensah. Remove taxes on agric inputs to boost sector, says Dr. Canton. And high prices of Valentine's Day gifts items fuel low patronage. Wow, says traders. Is it really so? Those who receive the Valentine gift, they'll receive it too. Those who won't receive it too, Anyway, the Daily Graphic newspaper. FDA to shut down unlicensed canteens. Many of our country's laws outmoded, says Professor Atuguba. Tackling climate change, Ghana to receive 850 million US dollars support from Switzerland. And GCB Bank appoints Daniel Esrifi as board chairman. That'll be all for what the newspapers have. Let me do the final newspaper. Actually, I have the Economy Times. The Economy Times is my last newspaper that I am reading, and it reads, BOG locks up 12 billion Ghana cedis from banking sector. CD2 earned 2024 at 13.40 pesos. So 13 cedis, 40 pesos Ghana cedis to $1. Oh, wow. So the cedi's gone up again. Okay. No, the dollar has gone up. The CD has depreciated. Let me say it like that. Bawumia admits Ghana's tax regime is most punitive as he promises reforms. And that will be all with what the newspapers are reporting. Let's hear your voices this morning. Our guests are seated and I can't wait for us to delve into our conversations. I have with me Honorable Timothy. I want him. Hello, Honorable. You look nice.
Thank you.
Wow. Is today your birthday?
No, today isn't my birthday, but after listening to the uninspiring speech by Dr. Bawumia, all along I've been thinking that I needed to wear something to be able to carry me through. And this is what I've decided to wear today to meet my brother for a long time and to say good morning to our cherished viewers out there and listeners, and good morning to yourselves.
Good morning. And he's looking very nice.
Let me use the opportunity to, you know, I told you we're having a revival meeting.
Yes, you did.
It was very successful. People came all over the world. Some came from Southern Sudan. Some came from South Africa. All over. The crowd was fantastic. The Holy Spirit worked mightily through the woman of God. And the police, the fire service, the ambulance services, all the security agencies were on hand. including MTTU and the Army to protect life and property. We wish to thank the public too for their support because the roads were blocked. They understood that this was a matter once in a while for edification of our soul. And for that matter, we wish to thank them for their cooperation. We wish to thank every worker of the church and everybody that participated and ensured the success of the program. We wish all of you well, and then the media too was not forgotten. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable. And Honorable is representing the NDC this morning, like he always does. Representing the NPP this morning is Mr. Kweku Kwashi. Hello, good.
Hello, Rosin. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? It's been a while.
Very well. Very good morning to you.
Good morning.
You're looking very nice.
Thank you. You look nice as well. I like your beads on
thank you very much.
Your wrist.
Get
Very,
to
very
wife.
nice.
Thank you very much. And it's quite interesting to know that he's sad, but see how well he's dressed up. That's a confusion he lives in. Let me say good morning to you. Let me say a very good morning to the people of Ghana. Let me first of all say that government understands what Ghanaians are going through. We understand. We go to the market, we buy stuff, so we understand what's going on. We feel what you're going through. I feel the same thing. I go to the market, I buy stuff, I buy a drink, I buy tomatoes, I buy everything. And so I understand what we're going through. But rest assured, government is working for your interest and in your interest. Already, all the indicators are showing that the economy is reviving. It was quite clear we took a serious hit in 2020. All across the globe, there was a major hit. That hit all economies, however strong they are. And Ghana was no exception. And so we understand your pain, we understand what you're going through. And as I said, government is working for your interest and in your interest. And I believe, come 2025, when the people of Ghana have given the mandates to Dr. Bawumia, a very good morning to him, the man with the bold solutions and the bold vision, the undisputed best vice president ever in the history of this country, the undisputed best mate ever in the history of this country. When God bestows upon him the ultimate blessing of leadership of this country, I know he will take us to the promised land. He has shown that very clearly. Let me first of all, as a preamble, say, any leader today who doesn't talk digitization is either stuck in the past, he doesn't understand the present, or is very worryingly confused about the future. And so I'm saying that if such a leader comes to you, be wary of him, be careful of him. The future is digital. The future is not analog. The future is a keyboard. The future is not a typewriter. We're not going back to the past into our future. Good morning to you. Thank you very much.
All right, Kweku. Good morning. That was Kweku's intro.
And
wow.
now I have to give my intro.
But you already gave your intro. You decided to give your intro to your church.
You know, we needed, yeah?
You gave your intro to your church.
Yeah, but definitely. Okay.
No, don't worry. When we delve into our conversations, then you can go ahead and add more.
In fact, I didn't say. I said good morning to you, good morning to your viewers, and good night to you. Good
night to you. Good morning to myself.
When we get to the
A very good morning to myself.
Yes.
And
Anyway,
it's always good morning all the time. There's nothing like good night. In fact, good night is said when you are
going to sleep.
When you are even dead and you are going to turn around and say good night. But your life is always good morning, good morning.
Right.
Good night is said
it's
to you
bright
when you are caught up in the confusion of what you stand for.
All right.
As you say this morning, you look so happy, you look so well dressed, and you are sad.
I'll start off with the clash between GJA and NMC over media blacklisting persons who abuse them. So GJA actually decided or agreed with some media persons who said that because of abuse by individuals, they have decided to blacklist them. A typical example is Honorable Hawa Kumsing, who has been blacklisted by the media, saying that in all her engagement, the media will never partake in it. The media says that our only weapon is our microphones. Hence, if you abuse us, that's the only way to fight. But the NMC is actually not too happy about it. Now, the chairman of the NMC, Yao Bwedu Ayebuafu, I hope I got his name right, is actually saying that this is dysfunctional and unproductive, and is urging the GJA and the media to relook at this and decide not to blacklist anybody, but rather find other alternatives fighting this, saying that in a lot of countries, some media persons actually are abused and they don't go this route. And so they are advising the media and GJA not to go through this route. Let me start this conversation with you, Honorable Timothy Awantrim. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I think it was yesterday that I listened to a bit about the differences that both institutions hold. And it is interesting to note that the National Media Commission is supposed to be the umbrella under which all the media organizations operate, and to regulate them in terms of their output, in terms of what they give it to the public, in terms of information, and also to ensure that they are protected against politicians, even against the public, in terms of carrying about their media, their work in a free environment that we have. But we've seen of late, not just what immediately caused it, but you can see that you enumerated some of them. But under this government, a government that told the whole world.
One example.
Yeah. No, but, okay, injustice anywhere in the world, it goes down to affect all other people. It doesn't matter how it is done, and it doesn't matter where it's come, whether one or half. But the issue is that the media under this government, that is led by a president who called himself a human rights lawyer and a constitutional lawyer, should have enjoyed unfettered freedom, no matter how they've been provoked. No matter how their publications do not go down well with this government. We have seen time and again from the beginning where media has come under serious harassment. Some were killed, some were threatened to the extent that they had to fly from this country. The Manasseh Azuri issue comes up. And some have been arrested. Look at what happened to the City FM, Calip and his compatriot, who were arrested broad daylight as if they were armed robbers, sent to national security, beaten to pulp, and nothing happened. You also remember, yes? The himself came up and gave it.
Oh, he didn't say pulp.
Oh.
He said they were mishandled, but beaten to pulp.
He was beaten. He said it. Google it. And I think your media house had an issue where the guy is even still, as we talk today, has not regained his health.
Yeah.
A lot of media people have been handled under this government. Remember, it is the media that made President Akufo-Addo who he is. It is the media that brought him to where he is. It is the media that ensured that they won the elections and even called it for them and supported them all over the time. They should be the last people, either the president himself or agents of him or actors in his regime should be the last people to be putting fettered, to be putting obstacles, harassing them, to the extent that it has come to a stage where the GJA is asking that a black card should be put on some government appointee to ensure that decorum is brought to bear in the media space. Remember, under this same government, so many media houses were locked out. They closed down media houses to the extent that when we had a biological war like COVID, that those media houses should have been given amnesty to broadcast, to engage in education for the purposes of saving humanity. They were still locked up under this.
For that, let me quickly ask, didn't it happen because there was a genuine reason for these companies to be shut down?
But the Media Foundation and other institutions proved that there were other media houses that even violated those genuine, regulations we were talking about. They clearly showed media houses.
You should mention one at least.
Oh, Kennedy Japan's media, the radio station, what is the name?
In Japan.
Yeah.
What's his name? What's the name?
Oman FM.
Oman FM and other media stations and so on.
They also violated.
They also violated, and it was very clear. Media Foundation.
You were saying they were not closed. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that they were not closed. None of them were closed down. In fact, if you check the issue of, I think, Radio Gold, they even went and paid. You remember?
Don't give example of who was not closed down. Who was closed down?
Would you allow me to
please
talk?
let him land.
Keku,
Please.
why are you irritated this morning?
Honorable, please make your point.
So you write your points down. You remember that even Radio Gold went and paid, and they rejected. Remember that other media houses made efforts to pay, to regularize their licenses.
Wasn't it after the deadline?
No, Radio Gold wasn't after the deadline. Radio Gold was not after the deadline.
Okay.
And other media houses try, even if it's after the deadline. You see, you look at media, the role they play. That it is not for nothing they are called the fourth estate of the realm. That is why people prefer even a noisy media, an ugly, noisy media out there, than even a government in place. You understand? Because of the sacrosanct role they play, they must always be given benefit of the doubt. But to fiscally assault people, to fiscally assault media men because of their reportage, because of freedom of expression. Look, even blackout is even something that is even less, what do you call it, a method they adopted. I think even the president himself should come and speak on these issues. Remember that most of these people were working with media houses. Upon Nkrumah, who was a media personnel in this country. Right. Today is the Minister of Information. Most of the media guys are in government. There used to be, it's something Saki. All of them. Jefferson Saki, you name them, they are working with government. And if they sit aloof and then allow actors of this government to harass, beat, and kill and maim some media personnel because today they are not speaking to their whims and caprices, then we are in a danger. And I think that the Media Commission should not be unnecessarily interfering in the GJA's regulation to shut out, to blacklist politicians whose behavior and conduct, either overt or overtly, pose a danger to the freedom of expression. We can go on and go. Look, it has happened. Okay. Blackouts on politicians and public personnel has happened with history all over time up to today. Sometimes even the politicians can say they are boycotting your platform. Having to see politicians or a whole political, they will boycott this platform because of the conduct of a host or the program that they are doing that has not suited them. They boycott.
You know, the reason that Mr. Ayeboafo gave is that when we blacklist or we black out on them, there are certain informations that we'll need eventually, but we can't get. So we black out on them and then we keep it shut. So these informations will go down the drain. But rather, we should keep engaging them so that any kind of information that they hold, we can get it from them.
No, Ayeboafo is playing political card. What information? They are public institutions. Don't let us make public service as if it's someone's private organization. What information do you need that you cannot go? The information is not supposed to be with them. In fact, it's supposed to be released to the people of Ghana who employed them to be working today. Okay. So what? The media should let us know the information that they needed, and they are not bringing out. And Parliament can summon them. Okay. And bring out information. There are a lot of institutions that are fighting. We can put pressure. Shrag is there. They can even. But you know, there are
certain informations that they can say it's only the CEO that can give it to you. It's only that person.
It is the CEO. That's not his job. He should better go and look for a private job. And if it is only when it is marked national security, it is when the issue is of national security that it cannot be released. The CEO auditor reports everything. You check the reports. The CEO cannot hold on. You will hold before Parliament. And you know, Parliament has a wing for the Parliamentary Committee on Information, Ministry of Information and other services are there. They can hold you before them, compel you to bring it. So they cannot. And you see, don't let us allow public officers to withhold information. The information is not theirs. You will leave there one day. You will leave there. That is not a permanent office.
Let me go to Kweku also. Kweku, your take on it.
Just a very good morning to you. It's quite interesting to see how my senior brother here is struggling very hard to rake in political dimensions of a very simple issue. Not very simple issue, but unfortunate issue. Clearly, you were trying to correct him. He sat here and told lies about how Caleb Kuda was beaten to pulp. You actually said pulp? Did that happen? Of course you said that.
Honorable, let him land it. Because, see, that
no.
If you are beaten to pulp, pulp means?
Do you know what pulp means?
The guy suffered.
Do you know what pulp means?
The guy himself.
When someone is beaten to pulp, look what that means.
So let me come in.
Joy
can't be beaten to pulp.
As we talk today.
You can't be beaten to pulp and recover in a day and speak.
Handle.
No.
Honorable
But if
and
You mentioned
Honorable, wait.
I was beaten to pulp. That's
So
a plain lie.
the thing is, probably the word lie is a bit too strong. But
Why is it too
pulp
strong? He's
he
lying.
was not beaten to pulp.
He's lying.
He was,
Why is it
he
too
was
strong?
manhandled.
Let me say that's it
but,
is. He's lying.
For the pulp is where
Yes.
the issue is. But let's
Because you're trying
continue.
very hard to rake in political damage of a single
I am not.
Now, first of all, let's
You see,
understand.
when you do that to your viewers and to the one who has been affected, a broad daylight.
He was
National security
he
stormed
was abused.
FM.
He was
Let me
abused.
speak. There were
Speak
issues.
there,
There were issues we're not happy about.
brutalized,
He wasn't
and you
beaten
sit
to
here and
pulp.
say that
No,
he wasn't.
he wasn't beaten to pulp.
Honorable.
Show
That is a
evidence
fact.
that he was.
You should show the evidence that he was
Honorable
beaten
and
to pulp.
Kweku,
Show evidence.
please.
And she's in the media. She's part of this
Please.
organization.
Kweku, make your point.
She corrected you. Okay? It's improper. You can't be doing that. And that's why when I came here, I said good night to you. Because you are living in the
Kweku, please
live,
make your
live
points
shell.
without attack.
So I'm not.
Let's continue.
All right. So see, he talks about how clearly about how this government is not protecting journalists. Our tradition, the NPP tradition, the tradition that repealed the criminal libel law in 2001. We did. In fact, if we go back, remember how under John Dramani Mahama, Vim Lady was beaten. Am I lying? Vim Lady was beaten seriously in this country. So let's not do these things. Now see, it's interesting. We understand, see, the NMC's role is to regulate the media. Now, the NMC's role, as I understand, is to regulate the media in the interest of the general public. Regulate them, license them, and so on. Now, the role of the GJ, as I understand, is more focused towards the professionals. Mm-hmm. So whereas the NMC is regulating the profession in the interest of the general public, GJA is leading and managing the professionals for the professionals. Okay? So these are two broad views and focused view. If you ask me, what GJA is doing in their focused view towards journalists, well, they feel that's what they have to do to protect their people. I find nothing wrong with that. What NMC is doing is also saying that, see, citizens have a right to speak and be heard. So if you block them out, how do you get serious facts? So far, the GJA hasn't told us, based on ABC, any video evidence, any hearings by anybody, ABC, that this conclusion was arrived at. So far, we haven't heard that.
How do you mean?
I'm saying that we haven't heard so far that because of ABC, this evidence, right? This hard evidence. Because from the story I read, the gentleman said the people who came to attack him were wearing the T-shirts of T-shirts with of Madam Hawa Kumsin.
Yeah.
Yes, but you need to get into the matter and make us aware as well. Have you, for example?
I think the issue had to do with the fact that they reached out to Madam Hawa Kumsin to do something about it, and she was quiet on it. And once these people are from your camp, you own the responsibility to handle it. Yes. And she should have, but rather she kept quiet about it.
I understand you. I know this issue is being discussed very well.
Yeah.
It's going on, discussion is going on. But see, as the GJA president said, when you put a blockade on somebody, assuming that...
The NMC?
NMC, sorry. Assuming the GJA calls Madam Hawa Kumsin and deliberates on the issue, have some proceedings, and get some facts. If you don't allow her to speak, how do you get her side of the situation? If you only allow you to come and say what you feel to say because you have the access to the media and say, no, you can't speak, that's not fair.
So the whole thing was not based on the fact that they didn't give the opportunity. The opportunity was given. Come and speak to what has happened. And she went quiet on it. And they tried on several occasions. Well, she kept going quiet on it. And so they said, okay, if you're not going to say anything about this abuse, then unfortunately we'll have to blacklist you.
Whatever happened is unfortunate. Whether it was Madam Hawa Kumsin's fault or not, it's unfortunate. As my brother rightly said, the media is a development partner everywhere in the world. They shape opinions, they shape behaviors. They're an important part of our development. So any attempt to shut them, any attempt to make their work difficult can't be entertained. That I condemn that. That's not to say that Madam Hawa Kumsin did anything as being claimed. We're here to establish the full facts. But in establishing the facts, you need to give her space. As you said, give her space to be heard as well.
She was given. She decided not to.
I haven't heard anything so far.
Yes, because she decided not to.
I'm not aware
and
of
there was a timeline. It was more of trying to reach out to this woman to
am
tell
not
her
aware
that,
of that.
this is what has happened, and she went quiet, and this is why this happened.
Well, I am not aware. Madam Howard Kummerson speaks to the media, she speaks to journalists, so I'm very surprised that she's been given an opportunity and she will decline. I'm very surprised. I haven't heard
Not too long ago,
the
the demonstration that happened, one of our colleagues, Bridget Otu, was actually mishandled, or should I say manhandled or abused by the police. We saw a video of it. The police actually came out to say, oh, it wasn't so, and they issued an apology. At least something came out.
Yes.
Why can't Madam Howard Kummerson issue an apology like that? It doesn't even have to go through the media. She has a social media platform. She can actually post something by saying that this is what it is.
You were saying, Roslyn, sorry. You were saying rightly here, the police, there was a video where the police were manhandling somebody and they came out to apologize, right? For you to say that Howard Kummerson should come out and apologize is for her to actually accept that she did what she did.
No, she should release a statement to say that I know about it, I don't know about it. Persons in my T-shirt, ABCD,
but here you are blocking her.
Social media is there. Nobody's blocking you on social media.
Gigi's blocking her.
Nobody's blocking you on social media. She has a page on social media.
I
She has a video. She has a phone that she can pick and record herself and put it on her page.
I understand you, but whatever it is, I know that this issue is being handled. The NPP is a media-friendly organization, media-friendly party. We repealed the criminal libel law. In the time past, when His Excellency John Dramani Mahama was a minister in this country as communication minister, that law was on our books under Jerry Rawlings. That law was on our books. It was when we came, one of the first things we did in this country in 2001, that law was repealed. So we are a friendly entity. We're a friendly party. For whatever happened, it's unfortunate. I believe the NMC and the GJ, as I said, it's a broad view and a focused view. The two of them can meet together and see where the lines are blurred and see the best way forward. Having said that, it's also important that journalists take their work serious. It's important that the fact that you are protected by your association, it doesn't mean that you can go ahead and do anything that you just want to do. And I'm not talking about the Cape FM guy. Just generally. Well, there have been issues where there are journalists who have misreported stuff without confirming facts. You understand me? I mean, there was an issue where one journalist, when the Madame Dapai's issue came up, stood in broad daylight in live TV saying that, oh, they were counting $17 million, it took them hours. These were clear, palpable lies. You understand me? And there are times when these things happen. It's not necessarily the leaders of the parties or political leaders who commission the people who go and do this to them. There are individuals sitting and watching who get angry at stuff, all right, and just act impulsively. No one has pushed them, okay? So I think it's important that in as much as we must protect them, they should also make sure that they are doing their work well, confirming issues, they don't hurt anybody as an issue. I think that GJ should sit down and NMC should sit down together and sort the issues out. These are issues that can be, sort of very, very easily. So
but what about the blacklisting of persons who abuse media personalities? Do you think is the right thing to do?
What we're discussing about Madam Howard Kummerson's situation is not very different. As you asked, it's not very different. The NMC are saying that give the person a chance to be heard. He says that you can pursue the issue in court. In court, we'll all hear the issues. We'll see what evidence is available. But when one group just sits in a room, decide that I have this evidence, I will even bring it out. But based on my own...
Let me broaden it a bit. Let me broaden it a bit. I think that in recent times, there have been too many issues with regards to political parties or politicians and the media. I'll look at UTV, a colleague station, having a show. Boys storm the place, saying that you've been discussing our party, we are not happy, so we are coming, we are here to storm. Just imagine such abuse of power.
No, it's not abuse of power.
It was what?
It wasn't abuse of power.
It was what?
I'm saying that these are party people.
Yeah, who abused power?
No, party supporters who feel held by something and act impulsively. They were not called by any leader to say that, oh, go and do that.
So we have to protect ourselves.
Exactly. No. You have to protect yourself as well as the government to protect you as well. It's a role of government to protect you as well. You understand me? And the party came out to say that, to condemn what they did. The party didn't sanction.
But what happened to them? What happened to these boys?
Well, I'm sure it's been handled. I mean, I'm here to get full details of that, but I'm sure it's been handled. The party condemned that. If the party had come out to say, oh, well, we support them because we're speaking against our government, that's a different issue. But the party came out to condemn them. So we don't support these things.
It would have been right for the party to also let Ghanaians know that these persons that did ABCD, this is what is happening to them.
I understand you, and I'm sure that as media people, once you ask these questions, it will prompt the party to begin to answer them.
You're part of the party, so I'm asking.
And I'm saying I don't know that yet.
Okay.
That hasn't come out yet for us to know. Okay, but I'm sure once as a media person, once you begin to probe and ask questions, we will ginger them to bring questions, answers that way for you to work with.
Honorable.
So this is the news. I'm just paraphrasing it. In the days after the beatings, Koda felt pains on his back and his lower left ribs. But he said that the pain had subsided by the time he spoke to. That is it. So I can slap you and you fall. Depending on your capacity to absorb my slap, you will fall. That is why sometimes you can just push someone, he falls and initially you are charged with murder and then they turn it to manslaughter because it is not an intention to kill the fellow. So depending on the severity of the assault on the fellow and depending on the capacity of the fellow to absorb that pain, the fellow can pulp and even collapse and die.
You're not bringing capacities, okay.
Do you understand? So it is not a matter of, my brother can be arrested, beaten, and you'll be okay the following day. Someone can lie in the bed for about a month from the same quantities of beating. So for me, it is not about that. It is about the fact that when you were talking about
please. Yes, Honorable.
You repeal the criminal law, and behind the repeal, the atrocities that people are going through in terms of the freedom of expression.
You are here expressing yourself.
It is the issue.
You are here expressing yourself.
You can repeal a law, and yet you meter out to people atrocities that are even far severe than when the criminal laws are there. Look at how people have been beaten. Even in studio, they go there to destroy and remove the studio equipment and so on. It's replayed. It's gone global.
Free.
Please.
People expressing themselves on social media. People are free.
Kweku, let him land.
You don't do that.
Kweku, let him land, please.
You don't do that.
No.
You don't do that. Those people who have been beaten there. Those people who have been beaten are people's husbands.
Let him talk.
Are people's husbands, people's children, people's mothers who have gone through such excruciating pain under you. You don't talk like that and say because you have repealed, you can go out there and brazenly beat people and come and sit here and say that you repealed it. A member of parliament has been accused, the Yendi MP, Honorable Ali Mama, the son, has been accused of beating a City FM journalist. The case has been sent is under investigation. We can mention even senior officers of the party doing that. We have Howard Commission removing a gun, and they say he shot and was publicly able to identify that he shot. What happened?
Shot a media person.
And you see,
shot a media person.
A warning shot, but not a media
person.
person.
But that's the example he's giving.
It wasn't a media person.
He shot a media person.
No,
I didn't say he shot.
Come on.
Is it because it didn't hit a media man?
Oh, come on.
You shoot into crowd?
No.
Come on.
So must we wait
She
till
didn't
it...
shoot into crowd.
Come off this.
You saw.
She keeps correcting you. She keeps correcting you. You are lying here. She keeps correcting you.
Kweku and Honorable.
I won't say for you to lie.
No,
Kweku, that's why I'm here.
An AK-47 was shot into a container, and then it perforated the container. You are telling me
she's correcting you.
It perforated the container.
I know human.
Is it because it didn't hit a media man?
Okay, let's concentrate.
Is it because it didn't hit a media personnel?
Come on.
In Kaswa here.
Honorable.
Is that what you are telling
Honorable.
me?
People are free in this country. People pick their phones and express themselves. Nobody goes to them.
I don't think that.
Kweku and Honorable.
I think that
please.
we are civil.
Honorable.
People are watching.
Honorable, please, can we have some
I
Thank you
like
very
to
much.
pass.
Gentlemen, thank you. Honorable, please make your point.
Are you telling me that a minister of state, that AK-47 bullets were released into a container that perforated the container in Kaswa here? People are listening to and the container people are there.
But this has nothing
Listen
to
to
do
me.
with
What
the
I'm
media.
saying is
Let's
this.
concentrate
It's
on the
even
media.
unruly.
But let's concentrate on the media issue.
You are not getting. The point is here. Is it because it did not touch a media man?
But this has nothing to
the
do with the
issue.
media.
No.
Let's
The
talk
issue.
about the media, Honorable. Let's
Come
talk
to
about
the
the
issue.
media. We are talking about
But we are not
media
Would you allow me
abuse.
to-
Honorable, we are talking about media abuse. Let's
I don't
take
think we
to-
have
let's take
co-host
to-
this morning.
No, we don't.
You are the one
He's
controlling.
gone quiet.
I'm not
So
co-host.
please. He's
So
a
don't
I'm a
tell
co-helper.
me.
please.
I understand.
Honorable,
But for now, I don't need
Honorable,
that.
let's stick to the issue.
So, we are talking about the conduct of public officers who are using public resources. And in open space of the media, you arrest and brutalize and kill media men.
Hey.
Ahmed Swale is still there. A lot of people from City FM has never, even under our regime, been brutalized. Even in, what do you call it, your media house, Joy FM, has gone through what under your government media people are going through. The modern Ghana, what do you call it, journalism, Volga is one. We can name it, it's replete. The numbers are big. What we are simply saying that, you see, and I've said it on this program that the most important ingredient of democracy is tolerance. You cannot be leading the people and still would not want people to make critical comments about you, or to make critical publications about you, or to make a critique of your governance, be it in terms of corruption, bad governance, and so on. Be it even in terms of the elections. 6 people were killed during elections.
Okay.
6 people, and it's the same election of primaries that led to the black listing of the general. Apart from it's election related issue. You understand? Ayahuasca where people were. Is it because they were not journalists? Look at the guy
We're
with
discussing
Samuel.
media
we are
people. No, we're discussing media.
It is
discussing media.
If we can only
rotten
stick, but if we can only
issue.
stick to the
But even the
stick to
media
issue.
issues
Yes.
are that. So, my brother, don't come this morning and obstruct me and tell that you repeal a criminal law.
I'm not
You
obstructing.
repeal it, but your actions and inactions does not show that you are genuinely for press freedom and that you would allow press to operate. We've seen how you've harassed the press all over. So if you go back and say that under Mahama, someone beat up this. Yes, under Mahama, if it does happen, it is wrong.
Respond very quickly.
It is also wrong, and it is not for you to replicate it in 100-fold because it happened through Mahama. It's just like telling me that if during Mahama time I was a minister and I committed a crime, you should come and commit it 100-fold and turn around and say that it happened during Mahama's time. What logic is that? What logic is that?
All right,
My
please
brother, let me
quickly,
quickly-
just
let me
get
quickly-
some
my
2 minutes
brother,
and then we'll
you
move
see
on to
why
the
when
next
I came
topic.
here, I said good night to you. You sit here in your confusion. We're discussing media people. We're discussing the role in the
don't
development
direct
of
how
this country.
I
We're discussing the
put
role
my-
of the media in the
I
development
won't
of
say
this
that.
country.
He started
We know
by
the
that, and I
importance
told
of
him, and I
development in
told
this
him, I will not
country.
put him.
Then
Because
the
first of all, I
aspect of
told
the
him,
realm.
and I'm
We
more
know
experienced
that.
than him.
We're discussing
That's the second
specific
thing.
issues.
Honorable,
He
let me
doesn't
handle
direct
you come
how
here-
I
Let me
conduct
handle
You
myself.
come here.
He doesn't.
You said-
Kweku doesn't
So,
direct
it's my
how
time
I
to
Kweku,
speak.
is your
Allow me
time?
to
Is
speak.
your time to speak?
Allow me to
Kweku doesn't direct. No,
Honorable,
I'm not
can I
disputing.
handle
Allow me
it?
to
Can I handle
but
it?
Kweku
It is-
doesn't
it is
direct
my- it
how
is-
Let me
my
handle it.
top
I reserve
Honorable, don't
the
worry, don't worry,
right.
let me handle it.
I reserve the
Kweku,
right.
Your right
Correct-
ends
correct
at where my
and
right
correct.
begins.
I reserve the right to
Your
correct
right
impression.
ends directly
Gentlemen.
at where my right begins.
I
Yes.
reserve the right to correct me.
Your right
But,
ends at where my right begins.
Kweku, he has the opportunity to say what he
I
wants to say.
and I can address it how?
No, if
Respond.
If he
You can
decides-
respond, but not to
Respond to you.
Honorable,
describe me
let me-
in such an unprintable
Honorable,
way.
let me
This
handle
is
it.
not my
Let me
colleague.
handle
I'm
it.
responding to
please.
you.
Let me handle it. Kweku, if he says that he wants to say this,
Yes.
that is his word.
Exactly.
Please,
Yes.
permit him and don't go for that. Please, let's concentrate.
You can
on what we are
respond. I
saying.
have no problem
Yes.
with that.
I am-
But don't attack what he's
I'm
saying.
not
Honorable,
attacking your personality.
please,
I'm
go.
attacking
You wanted
what
to
he
say
said.
something. Say what
Say
you're
it.
saying.
Don't
Yes,
say
that's
that in
what-
my
and
conference.
that's
It's
what
an
I'm saying.
insult to
That's what I'm
my
saying.
dignity.
Please.
That's
And
what
I will
I'm
not
saying.
allow that.
Honorable.
I'm saying that
Quick.
our party has been very media friendly. The results are clear. The records are clear. We're the first to repeal the criminal libel law. It has been on our books since 1960, whatever. And then Nkrumah. We dealt with that. And as I said again, under ex-president
All my talk,
when he was
I've not
minister,
said anything
these
derogatory
laws
to him.
were in
Honorable,
on our
he-
books.
You know my.
But I'm not saying that.
I've
You are
not done
here.
anything
You are here.
contrary to what he's.
Yes, that's
you are
why
here
he's-
expanding issues and talking about how a politician picked a gun and shot people. Now, when you corrected him, he now says, "Oh, he shot into a container."
Kweku, rather, I think you should rather
This is where we are.
If you're tackling the
You
issue,
shot into a
tackle the
container.
issue. Just
And
tackle
so-
the issue.
and so
if what you
the
think he
issue has
said
been
is
tackled.
wrong, just
The
say what
issue
he
has
said
been
is wrong
tackled.
and just say what
The
you have
issue
to
has
say.
been tackled.
Good.
Whatever happened to our brother at
You don't come here with
FM,
where has my
whatever
government attacked
happened
me.
to our brother
I won't
KFM,
take those
He's
attacks.
making a
FM
point, please.
must be condemned. Whether it was this person's fault or not, the media should be given unfettered access to do their work. I support that. all right? People should feel free to express. And in this country, people have been free. People pick their phones on social media. They express it every day. Nobody does anything to them. You see, we believe in democracy, NPP. Now, the thing about democracy is that any regime, okay, any regime that seeks to suppress your power of expression will also suppress your power to innovate and be creative, okay? See, Rosalind, if you cannot tell me that I've got a big head, or I've got long ears, or I look ugly, if you can't tell me that, if you can't come express that to me, how can you convince me that you can put a man onto the moon?
Okay.
You understand me? So we understand the media, we understand freedom of speech, okay? Our forefathers have said this, that we should allow people to be free and liberate their energies and be creative. And it happens only through democracy. Mainly through democracy, you understand me? So it's unfortunate. As I said, I believe the GJA, together with the NMC, will sit down, see where the lines are blurred, and sort the issue out. And going forward, as people are enjoying their freedoms, they continue to enjoy their freedoms under Nekufo-Addo, under His Excellency Dr. Bawumia, when he becomes president. People will continue to enjoy their freedoms that they're enjoying today.
All right.
We're here discussing many issues. Why we're not afraid.
Just
We're
a
discussing
second.
All right,
I'm
no,
not going
Honorable,
to-
we are moving on to the next topic, and it's a
just
sad story that has happened in Jirapa. One thing that we always say is that when there are people out there who are doing good, we ought to push them to do the best for all of us. Unfortunately, in Jirapa, a sad incident happened over the weekend. Royal Cozy Hotel, the owner, and this man has done so much for the people of Jirapa. He's helped develop Jirapa. He's built one of the best hotels ever in Jirapa. That's Royal Cozy Hotel. This man was found in a pool of blood in his bedroom, and 7 persons have been arrested as of now. We don't know who the perpetrators are, but these persons are under investigations, of course, and hopefully we will have a closure to it. This person is in the person of Mr. Eric Johnson, who lost his life, and may his soul rest in peace. It's a very difficult time for the people of Jirapa. Let's take a look at what is happening in Jirapa, and then we'll come back to studio and I'll speak with my studio guest here.
Have entered the private residence of owner of the Royal Cozy Hills Hotel, Eric Johnson, aided by a ladder through this fortified fence wall. The executive mansion, as he called it, overlooked the Royal Cozy Hills Hotel, where he lived and met his personal guests. Eric Johnson is security conscious and has never toyed with his personal security. One cannot have access to this edifice without his personal knowledge. He's always the one to conduct you around the magnificent edifice. The executive mansion now has all 4 gates closed and under lock and key as a result of his gruesome murder last Sunday. I am in front of one of the gates of the private residence of the Chief Executive Officer of Royal Cozy Hills Hotel, Eric Johnson. We are told that the unknown assailant came from this route after allegedly committing the act, came through this gate, went out with his car, and then dumped the car at the heart of town. Inside the Royal Cozy Hills Hotel, which shares a wall with the executive mansion, it appears deserted and looks like a ghost town. Less than a dozen of workers were seen at work with no regular to take care of. The Jirapa town is enveloped with sadness, grief, and anger over the loss of a man who is a Goliath in achievement and development of the area and the region at large. Both the young and old, the business community, are yet to come to terms with what happened.
This man is a joy to us all. This man is somebody who is down to earth. He doesn't see himself worldly, because of that doesn't respect people. He respects every Tom, Dick, and Harry. My daughter, he has always passionately called her wife. This man has always been there for me and my daughter and for my little business. He's the reason why my business is like this. He's the reason why I'm even living here in Jirapa and comfortably in the lead among others. I've lost a great man. Jirapa has lost, Upper West has lost.
That man is actually very, very charitable.
that one there. If you ask anybody that actually knows the man, he has the heart of giving. He really gives out unconditionally, irrespective of whom you are. Then you've not met him. If you haven't met him, fine. But if you are able to pass through the right procedure, the right processes, and meet the man, you realize that whatever your needs are, especially financially, that man will be able to help you.
A week of mourning has been declared by the youth as a mark of respect for him.
Concern for our fallen hero. So we ensure that all our teaming youth from today, all of us put on red, put on black, whether your workplace, we are calling on the municipal chief executive, the police, that this is what we want to do in solidarity of what? Fallen hero. So that from henceforth, this is what is going to happen.
Pupils at basic schools are also not left out in directing their anger on the unknown assailant who callously took away their most cherished treasure from them.
All of the small kids, but they are crying. That man is our uncle. You see small boy and go and leave him. We went and greeted him.
They want a thorough investigation to unravel the mystery surrounding the brutal murder of Eric Johnson.
We want to see, the police have so far indicated that pick up 5 suspects. Seven now, all right, to insist investigation. We want to plea on the Ghana Police Service that they should continue to do diligent work. We, the youth, are open up to assist volunteer information to make sure that we bring the culprits to book.
Jiriba Municipal Chief Executive Lawyer Nicolas Sowiri met with the Royal Coast Hills Hotel CEO last Friday. He shocked to the marrow about his murder, taxing the police CID to ensure that the perpetrators are brought to book.
Some people have been arrested to assist the police with investigation. Still early days yet, but I am sure that the culprits would be brought to book. It's something that it beats my imagination, and it's a really sad event for Jirapa.
62 kilometers away from Jiriba and in the Upper West Regional capital, Upper West Regional Minister Dr. Hafiz bin Sali led a team of newly sworn-in assembly members to observe a minute of silence for the business mogul cum entrepreneur. For many years in Jiriba, Eric Johnson was seen as an electric generator that feeds several thousands of bulbs. It is their hope that the security agencies, especially the police, will do everything possible to unravel the mystery surrounding his death. Reporting for Joy News, Rafiq Salam, Jiriba. How about Eric Johnson?
Well, I'll miss his.
And this is what the current situation in Jirapa is looking like, and that's a report from my colleague Rafiq Salam. It's quite sad, I must say, and I don't know. When I heard of the news, I didn't know it was even going to be this close to me until yesterday. I was shocked. I don't know. Let me come to you, gentlemen. What you think about it, Honourable?
Rosalind and
are we safe?
you see, how safe can you be if you are in a security locked area and still crime reaches you? Is it your fault that where you are, it is not easy for people to identify your location? But at the end of the day, crime reaches you and even leads to death. It could be more than what we are seeing fiscal out there. One, when the issue, I have not been there, and I don't know him personally. I was sad because definitely no matter how someone is, whether you're a murderer or not, when you die, people will have some sympathy. I was trying to reminiscence what I meant to think about his investments and the fact that he's been helpful to the region. Tourists are going there because of him. All those issues came up. But he's a businessman. I am saying this not from anything, but I'm thinking that anything could have gone wrong. Where the Eric Johnson was sleeping is a security zone with CCTV cameras. You cannot easily penetrate where he's staying. Initially, when it came, there were some conjectures that he was involved in chieftaincy and whatnot. But that chieftaincy issue has been debunked by someone I discussed who is from the area and so on. So it now leaves the chieftaincy issue has been eliminated. Notwithstanding, the police will be doing serious investigations into the matter for which they should do. Even if it's going to take them the next 10 years to decode what happened and look at the type of killing that was done. I strongly believe that locals don't, especially where we come from the north, and especially Upper East and Upper West, they could hate you. They can do it, but to the extent of stabbing you multiple times, they've not learned that and they don't do it. They could use bombs, they could shoot you. This type of killing is sophisticated. The crime that has happened
It's
is
too sophisticated for the north?
Yes, for that type of crime in our localities. And especially when you come there and you are doing well by the interview, people are telling us that, oh, he's some guy who gives when you're able to reach him in the right way. What happens is that that alone is security. Once the people love you and like you for what they benefit from it, it is security. They protect you. They ensure the harm does not get to you. You have that social security around yourself and the people will love you. If it has gone this, we wouldn't rule out crimes like business deals have gone wrong and so on and so forth. We don't know his business partners. But I would expect the police to expand their investigations to cover his business idea, to look at his phone calls. The last fellow he called before he died, before he slept that night. And so, because I've not been to the hotel, but I've been told that where he is, there's a presidential lodge is there. So the security there is fortified. Even to get to that place, it's an issue that is shrouded in mystery, and it must be decoded. But if you watch our history, I don't think that he's a first fellow is the last fellow who has been murdered in this type. I think I remember one commercial bank manager also lost his life years back. And we can trace them, how people have been killed and so on. This type of crime tells us that our security agencies must be up and doing. But you see, the security agencies can be up and doing if we cooperate with them, if we ensure, if the man, for instance, his hotel, if we have security people there, how come that the fellow escaped all the what do you call the CCTV cameras.
And even drove his car out.
And after they drove his car out. His own car. And they didn't pick anything.
The perpetrators drove his own car.
They drove his own car to the middle of the town, parked it, and then took whatever means they wanted and went. And they didn't pick anything down for the information, and nothing was picked. His car just was used as a conduit out because the gate men know the car. And obviously, if his car is coming, they will not question who is there. So the people, it was a well-planned thing. The locals wouldn't have had that mind of using his own car to drive out and abandon it.
You think the locals have not developed it that much?
Such heinous crimes, I'm yet to see them in this part of our northern sector.
Okay.
Because of the fact that, you see, in cosmopolitan areas like Accra, where business is all over and people come across each other, such crimes can happen from time to time. But in our local areas down there in the north, in the Upper East, Upper West, where everybody seems to know the other, I can hate you. Let me use quote unquote that it's better for them to use witchcraft to hunt you down than to go that way, if I may go that, or to even do some kind of poisoning or something.
Okay.
They don't have that heart to be able to stab the guy so many times. And this is a paid job, if you look at it. And probably they shouldn't rule out the fact mercenaries could come from outside, paid by someone to come and do that. It's a whole caboodle of crime that needs to be decoded, and then we learn from it. Oh, look, I since it happened, I have been at pains, but I also think about, look, normally in Western Europe and other areas, if you come to start business, they're able to check your source of money, your taxes, and so on, so that they give you a clean health. But when you start doing something that they suspect that is beyond your capacity, state agencies will start to investigate to know. So I think that it's a sad issue. We sympathize with the people of Ejirapa. We sympathize with the people of the Upper West, most especially his family, children, his family, his loved ones. The workers, they will sympathize with all of them. We would do everything in our capacity to support if anyone has information elsewhere. It should not be looked as if it's Eric Johnson. It will come to you. It will come to any other fellow.
It could be anybody.
It could be. So anyone out there who has information that he thinks that he can pass through behind, even come and give it to any of us here, or any other police agencies to assist in unraveling the mystery surrounding his death, we should encourage people to do that.
Okay, quick.
was doing. When I read the news yesterday, this was very sad news for me. I don't know him personally, but clearly from all the accounts as we've seen today, and as I read earlier on yesterday, it is clear it's a very industrious man of the country, an industrious man who's impacting people in the Upper West, in Jirapa. In fact, the accounts of the minister who was saying how this man has impacted almost every sector of the Upper West region. It is sad for this to happen. Let me quickly explain my sympathies to the family. It's a very tough time.
Very.
Especially when someone has to pass away in such bad situation, such bad way. It's really traumatic. And so I can imagine what his spouse, his children are going through. My heart goes out to them. It's a very tough time for them. But I believe that the security services, under the able leadership of Dr. Dampare, will get to the bottom of the matter and be able to fish out those who cause this heinous crime. You know, in our setting, in our cultural family setting, if you're a working man, working woman, you will hardly look after only your own child. We all support each other. And it's clear that many people depend on him, whether as a mentor, financially, advice-wise. So this loss, this death, would affect many, many people in Jirapa and many parts of the Western region. They were saying it themselves, all right? So my heart goes out to the people of the Upper West region. It's a very bad situation. And I'm praying and believing that the security services will get to the bottom of the matter and bring some peace to the heart of the families, to the heart of his friends, to the heart of loved ones, those who loved him, those who knew him, those whom he touched with his good life. And so it's a sad situation. It's just too sad, you know.
Too sad.
Too sad.
You know,
I think that
by yesterday they were telling about, I think 5 people have been picked.
Currently,
yeah, so far 7 people have been picked.
I think with that picking, they should be able to glean something meaningful from them to assist in furtherance of the investigations. Like he said, like it or leave it, there is a positive impact on a lot of people who came in contact with him.
Yes.
There is, he has brought life to a place that was not dependent on a lot of foreigners coming in and so on. So for me, it's a crime against humanity. They should be able to decode it and bring peace and finality to the matter.
I believe quickly that this throws into, without necessarily politicizing stuff, this throws into focus the drive by the Vice President to bring cameras across the country. You've seen that the cameras all been erected across the country. These are some of the things it will help to uncover.
Have they started?
Oh, it's started. It's going on. It's going on. But the country is big, and you need time to do all of these things. You can't do all at once.
But we need street lights, though.
Face by face.
We need
The street lights
It's
are completely off.
a balance of stuff. Here was a man in his room, in his big house. People went in there. Imagine that there was a big camera somewhere. They could spot who parked the car somewhere and begin to follow. Now,
Well, that's true, though.
exactly.
That's true.
And this brings into focus as well the importance of having a Ghana card, the importance of having an identity that can be linked to a location. You understand me? So gradually, yes, it's possible. Once you have this information, if the people are picked.
So your Ghana card will be linked to where you are.
No. I'm just saying that it allows for people to be identified quickly in such cases. Because I believe that this is data that the police will have as well. You understand me? So I'm just saying that essentially it just helps the whole situation where people can be identified for whatever reason. That's all I'm saying. You understand me? Good.
Okay. Anyway, we move on to our next conversation. But before then, I don't know if we have some comments that we want to take. Let's quickly go on Facebook and see some messages in there. Yes, we do have messages. So
How much time do you have?
we have about probably like some 15 minutes to go.
Really?
Yes.
That's quite short.
Is it short?
Short. We need to discuss stuff.
It's not that
We
short.
need to discuss the man of vision. We want to hear more about the man of
It's not
vision.
that short. Anyway, let's
discuss
see
it.
what we have on Facebook. I am trying to get it. Okay. So we have some comments coming in from Facebook. All right, let's see.
So we have some comments coming in from Facebook.
So my phone is actually giving me the whole thing. Okay. Oh, okay, yes. But I'll quickly see if I can read from here before we actually project what's on here. I think Awal Bookback says, while strongman OT going into 2024 elections, His Excellency John Mahama have good policies and which will restore the hope and aspirations of Ghanaians because it's going to increase production and fight corruption. 24 hours economy will be deliberate policy that will create sustainable jobs and revive the ailing economy. So I'm encouraging Ghanaians to support him to be able to build Ghana we want. Ken Williams says, hi Rose, I thank GJ for blacklisting the MPP thugs and terrorists who attack journalists. In fact, blacklisting is not enough. The media must even stop inviting these wild elephants and hooligans into your studios and boycott everything they do because they are not nation wreckers and a threat to our democracy, institutions, judiciary, even a danger to our forest reserves, water bodies, and our civilized world. GJA must ignore Ayeboafo and the likes who see nothing wrong when MPP is in power because they shall be known by their fruits and political colors one after the other. Cher Kobe says, but madam, is it a good thing to manhandle a journalist? The way you talk about a colleague journalist who was manhandled here shocked me. Boss, I didn't say it's good to be manhandled. We just corrected something. So manhandled, we are talking about the fact that when somebody is manhandled, it's really, really wrong to be manhandled. I did speak about it. I spoke against it. And we are speaking about the blacklisting. Please again. So, Cher Kobe says, that is NPP regime. You chased Manasseh out of the country. Just last week, your MP beat up a journalist of CTFM. Media freedom is going down under the watch of Kojo Nkrumah. Okay. Alasan Sise says, good morning to you all in the studio. The most intolerant government ever. Okay, let me see. Okay, now I think I can go here. Let me see where I can go. Let me go up. Back to this. I'm trying to scroll, but I'm struggling to scroll. Let's see. Okay. Technology has taken us far. It's not easy. Technology, this is technology.
Okay,
let me try it. Yes. So, okay, so we are not getting it here. Let me see here. Okay, yes. So this is the live. Let's see if we can get See, I'll come back to you, okay?
Let's come back.
Yeah, we'll come back. We'll come back to the comments and take some more comments. So I'll just take it from here. And Alasan Sise, I don't know if I read it, said, good morning to you all in the studio. The most intolerant government ever is Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo-led government, where journalists have to leave this country for their lives, and Ghanaians are no more bold to speak their minds about route of the country. Godfrey said, yes, it's sad to hear this morning. Hamza Mohammed says, Alaji Hamza Pig Farm, good morning, Rosalind. Please tell Kweku, the MPP guy, to stop insulting the intelligence of Ghanaians and credit us with little respect we deserve. Ahmed Swale, a journalist, was killed and nothing has happened now. How many years now? Take a look at what happened to Manasseh. He has to escape with the help of other people to run to South Africa. Politicians have no right to attack and beat journalists in the line of their duty. Madam must be called to order. She should remember she's been paid by the taxpayers' money. This was she the same woman who was going around shooting in Kaswa during the registration exercise, and nothing has happened to her. Journalists under this government are operating fear of their lives, and evidence is out there for all to see. Alaji Hamza Pig Farm. Daniel Akmaliok says, It's sad that this level of impunity and attacks on press freedom is happening under the watch of a president who happens to be a human rights lawyer. There is no doubt that the attitude of these people who have the penchant of attacking journalists are backed by Jack Toronto and his so-called men. If you think otherwise, just wait and see what happens to these persons beyond the discussion on television and radio stations. The militarization, abuse of power, and attacks on press freedom has become one too many under this government. Good morning to my godfather and best friend, Honorable Timothy Atabwa. This one is very long, so... Hey, this one there. Richard Mensah, please keep it short and simple. Let's go into what the vice president's speech. The vice president's speech is still a topic of discussion. And Dr. Osai Kwapong has delved into it. And he's actually said that, when one is in power or is a certain government, usually their campaign message is different. When that person is actually in opposition, their campaign message is different. But 2024 happens to be different, completely different. Now we have one man who's been in power before and now in opposition, and his campaign message is saying that, yes, I know that, I did all these wrongs. Give me the opportunity and I'll correct it. And then you have the very first time in the history of Ghana, having a vice president become a flag bearer of a political party. And he is also saying that when I take over, I will do A, B, C, D. But this is it. Now, as the person is there, it is his party that is in power. Now, this is what he said. And I want to read it. So please, just a quick line there. He said, the description of the role of the economic management team as advisory without decision-making authority, paragraph 64. This has been reinforced by key voices who support his bid for the presidency. This is a rewriting of the narrative about the economic management team. Now, one thing is that, for sure, we know that the economic management team solidly was being led by our very own Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. So, now that the economy is not going well, but he says that he was the mate, so if he takes over, he will make sure that some of these tax reforms will actually be scrapped and things will be better. But the NDC is coming hard for him because they say you were the leader for the economic management team and you manhandled. Should I use the word manhandled? Because it looks like today that's the word. I don't know. It was not.
You manhandled the economy.
So the words of the vice president with regards to what he would do if he should be given the opportunity to lead the country is actually still a topic of discussion. I know Kweku is poised for this. Kweku, so I'll start with you.
Yes, Jocelyn.
Roslyn,
sorry.
Why your girlfriend is
Why do I
Jocelyn?
keep Roslyn. Thank you very much. As I said earlier in my intro, we understand what Ghanaians are going through, and we feel everything. And the vice president feels this. And so he has a clear vision of what he wants to do for this country. He's going to this election with a bold vision and bold solution. Now, let me quickly run through a few of the things he said. The vice president promises that when he becomes president, we're going to generate 2,000 megawatts of power from solar. Now, it's one of the boldest things anybody in this country has ever proposed. Now, that 2,000 megawatts is more than Akosombo Dam. Yes, more than that. All right? We have abundance of the sun. We have abundance of sunshine every time, almost all year through. Why can't we harness it? Why do we have to be saddled with all this oil, fuel, left, right, center, where sometimes there's no money to pay for them, governments have stuff like that? Why must we go through it? Well, we have the sun available. So it tells you it is one of the boldest visions anybody has ever proposed in this country. It's not saying solar for 10 megawatts or for 5 megawatts, 2,000 megawatts, more than Akosombo Dam. And that will bring the pressure on government to pay for all sorts of stuff down, and government will get more money to do other important things. Now, he's proposed the flat tax rates for businesses. And for the first time, a political leader has spoken, and almost all the people in the trade area have agreed. Almost all of them. They're saying, this is a good thing for us. This will help our business. We understand that once businesses thrive, people get employment, and the country moves on. Wealth is created. People are lifted from poverty. That's the whole idea. And so they have all embraced it. It's the first time in our history that somebody has spoken for almost all of them to accept it. All right? People have spoken in the time past before, and you find that I disagree here. You find people clashing in the same situation they are clashing. But for the first time, we have all of them agreeing to the vision of the vice president. That's bold leadership, bold solutions for the future. Now, he's mentioned the application of IT for farming. The most important thing for every human being when they get up in the morning is energy through food. Now, when we are satisfied, we can begin to think of other important things. Once you get food to eat, you can think of creating a car, you can think of going to the moon, you can think of creating anything else. But we must first eat. And he's saying that we're going to harness the power of IT to boost productivity in the agriculture sector. And it's very possible. Israel, as small as it is, a small country in the Middle East, has done so well using IT for their farming. And they are food sufficient and self-sufficient. We can do the same here. That's a bold vision for 2025 and beyond. Nobody has ever said this.
So we'll use IT to produce food?
It is very possible. So, for example, is it not possible that irrigation stuff is controlled by IT? You understand me? Where, when it's time for things to sprinkle, automatically it just does that. It gives time for the farmers to go do something else. Instead of waiting and watering stuff all over the place. It is possible. You understand me? So IT can be applied to every part of our life. That's a fact. Now,
I'm just asking.
Yes.
So, just playing the devil's advocate here. Where are most of our farms located?
In the rural areas.
These rural areas, most of them don't even have access to electricity. How are you using IT to do irrigation?
Power has been spread across many areos in this country. That's a fact.
Really?
This power has been
So
spread
these
across
rural
many areas
have so much
go
power
there,
that we'll use IT.
Rosalind, you go there, they're
farming.
using mobile phones, they're using smartphones in the rural areas. Yes, they do. Since coming into office, a lot of cell sites have been spread across the country to make sure internet penetration is very high in this country.
Perfect. But
right?
I can also
They are not being
tell
left
you.
out.
I can also tell you for a fact that even in Greater Accra region here, there are so many places that they don't even have access to electricity. Look at some places in the Volta that are heavy on farming. Some places in the Western region that are heavy on farming. They don't have access to electricity.
I'm just saying that.
So we're talking about
power.
It's actually a beautiful idea.
Yes,
I'm not saying it's not beautiful.
I don't want to digress into other things.
No,
but the
I'm
point
just,
is that
I'm just asking you a question.
I get you.
It's just, it's a beautiful idea. But when we create these ideas or when we campaign with these messages, you look at the reality on the ground.
Yes.
What is the reality on the ground?
Yes.
Because we heard of one district, one dam, which to us was even more possible than you saying that you will use IT in an area that doesn't even have electricity.
It is very possible. It is very possible. You understand me? There are systems that are chargeable to be used.
So you charge in Accra and take to Western region where there's no light?
Well, they don't say that.
I'm just asking.
I'm saying that if you go to the villages, people are charging their phones there. How do you charge it and work with it?
How many villages?
It's all over. There are people who have smartphones in the villages. We all know that. Internet penetration is very high in our country now. Since coming into office, the fiber optic has been laid wide across the country. That's a fact. It's all over. And that's why this whole drive of digitization is moving forward. Because the whole country is coming on board. You are aware that through this, there's a lot of financial inclusion. People are now doing a lot more mobile phone transactions than previously, than compared to previously. So we are moving in the right direction. I mentioned earlier on that any leader who doesn't talk digitization in this era is stuck in the past. He doesn't understand the present and is worryingly confused about the future. The future is digital. The future is a youth, and the future is digital. You can use IT to affect any part of our lives. And Dr. Bawumia says he'll use IT to boost productivity in the agri sector. That he's going to do. I believe him.
Okay.
Now, he's also mentioned something important, that we'll begin to do credit scoring in this country. so that it becomes possible for people to acquire stuff, material, TV, house, and so on, easily through credits. Currently in the country, if you want to buy a phone, you must find hard cash to go and buy the phone. The reason why, if you go to Europe, if you go to the Americas, life seems easier is because you can get to enjoy something today and pay for it 20 years. That is what he intends to bring here. And he started that gradually. So that's a bold vision for the future. So it gets to a point, you want a new phone, a new Samsung, a new itel, a new iPhone. Rosalind, just go there, you check your score. Well, you can now pick your phone and pay over 5 years. That is the way to go. If you want to buy a house, you can go and get a house and pay over 20 years. That's the way to go.
Is it not there already? If you're talking about the house.
You see? Yeah,
For the houses
people,
there, right?
people get mortgages.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that it has to be people who earn high monies to access it. The average man can't get a mortgage. That's a fact.
But checking your credit score is still the average, man. If I go there and I earn like 200 cities, of course they won't give me an iPhone 20 or what's it called, iPhone 15.
Precisely the point. So you cut your coat according to your cloth. So for the person who earns,
if I go
for the person who earns 500 Ghana cedis, he wants to buy itel. He must still be able to save some 400 Ghana or 700 Ghana to go and buy an itel.
Yeah.
All he's saying that when that time comes, you want to buy an itel. You go there, you bring your details, we check everything for you, and instead of paying for 700 Ghana, saving for so many months, go ahead, pay 20 Ghana cedis and begin to pay 5 cedis per month over 5 years. That's all. It makes life very easy. It's one of the main reasons why life is easy in the Western countries. Okay? And he's bringing that here. As I mentioned rightly, the Abuchi Air Bagana. We are bringing it here. That's a bold vision, for bold solutions for the future.
But now, it's all dependent on your earnings too, right?
As I said, it depends on your earnings. Right. People earn differently. But I'm saying that whatever they earn, we should make it easy for them to acquire what they want to acquire. As I said, if you earn 700 cedis, why are you going to try and get an iPhone? No. You want to buy what? An itel? You want to buy some small techno?
I'm just talking about the mortgages because these are the things that people will be looking at. You look at your age, you go to the bank, they look at your age, they look at what you earn at the end of the month, they give you, they strike the average and
precisely.
You might, so it's still there.
It is still there, but it's going to be enhanced.
Okay.
It's going to be enhanced to get into other areas. It's going to be enhanced so that, as I'm saying that, for now, you may get a mortgage that runs for 15 years, maximum 15 years. If you go to the UK, Europe, people get a mortgage for 30 years.
Your age is part of it.
Pardon me?
Your age is
part of it.
Yeah,
so you finish school, all right? You see, in times past, our fathers, when they're working, will struggle all their lives to put up a building towards retirement, all right? That should be the case for people in this country. It should be possible once you finish school, you work for a few years, you check your earnings, you can go for a house and live in it for the next 30 years. Your dream house. You can live in your dream house 30 years before your retirement. Why should you wait to live in your dream house 30 years after you start working? Now, he also mentioned something.
Quickly, and then I can come to Honorable Timothy.
I'll come to that. He comes very soon. He also mentioned that he will enhance responsible money. This country, as he said, is sitting on a value of $10 trillion worth of gold. Even if we're able to get 5% of that, 10 trillion. Now, the GDP of USA, if I remember, nothing more than 25 trillion. So if this country is on 10 trillion, that's a huge amount of money that we can tap into. These are bold solutions for the future. And he's going to make sure that these things will create jobs for people. Responsible money will bring a lot of money to this country. And it won't be mine all in one go, but gradually we can tap into it. These are the bold visions he has for this country.
All right.
Now, coming to, let me quickly come to...
Let Honorable touch a bit on some of the things you've said, and then we come back to you.
I was thinking that we'll start with this, but we have to go around, but it's okay.
It's okay, don't worry.
We talked about the fact that, you see, we are dealing with a vice president in the history of this country who had so much, and people had hoped in him, because he organized public lectures and told us about the microeconomy and what it entails and how, if the figures are not good, you look at your exchange rate. We're told, we don't need to regurgitate this. We're told about how he was in the Bank of Ghana and knew that there was money and that we're not going to borrow money. Even roads We're not going to borrow money. We just need to toll the roads. Nothing has happened. They ended up even canceling road tolls and so on. As we sit today, this economy is completely bankrupt under him. This economy has been locked out of the international market to borrow because our economy is baller, is junk, is CCC. Under his watch. This is a man that over 1 trillion Ghana cedis has been accrued to them, and yet you cannot match capital investment to them. And I'll begin to mention.
You give me a chance to respond to it.
Please. He says
1 trillion Ghana is a lie again, I say.
Wait. He says he
what
was.
Does this guy do?
Please, honorable.
Tax revenue is 411 billion. Listen to me. Tax revenue alone is 411 billion. Go check your budget.
Honorable.
Borrowing alone is over 600 billion.
Honorable.
You won't lie.
You have to really control.
Honorable. Don't worry.
You won't lie here.
Honorable. Please make your point, okay?
The liar is Bawumia, it's not me.
Okay, we'll go to it.
The liar and the one who lacks credibility. And I'll show you the lies he told this country. I'll show you the lies.
Please go ahead.
And the lies is what has brought this economy to its knees. If you were being truthful, we wouldn't have gotten to where we are.
Please go ahead. You have your time. Quickly, we'll wrap up.
He said that, power has been spread across this country. Who spread the power? Which area have it extended light to in this country? We extended light over.
There you are.
Light.
Kweku, when you were making your point, he didn't say a word.
Why are you jittery?
Honorable.
I'm not jittery.
We extended light even to villages in Sandema, villages in Kadima, in Riesi. We never extended light there as we sit now. You are talking of fiber optic. The fiber optic bone was laid by John Dramani Mama, covering over 1,005 kilometers across this country.
It's a lie. I'm telling you. It's a lie. You are lying. I'm telling you.
Kweku.
It's a lie.
Kweku.
It's a lie.
Kweku. Thank you.
Lie, it's a lie. It's a lie.
Kweku, please. Honorable.
You've been put in a room and put lights on your mouth, come and say it.
The champion liar is your vice president.
Kweku,
you are struggling.
Allowed to lie.
Kweku,
he's even holding the title.
Who are lying to lie?
Kweku, when he lands,
he's holding a global title.
Say what Muhammad would do.
No, we are tackling what Bawumia said. We are not tackling Muhammad today.
But I won't lie to lie.
Please go ahead. Make your point.
I won't lie to lie. Over 90% of fiber optic in this country was laid under NPP. Over 90%
Kweku,
was laid under
when
NPP.
he lands,
you gave license. You didn't lay the fiber optic. It's just like Joy Prime. You set and then NCA will give you the license. That was what Bawumia was talking about. Not that you lay the fiber optic. Please don't.
So who laid those?
Let's learn.
So who
it's
laid?
that you gave license.
Please.
You gave license. For instance,
lie.
license has been given for Joy Prime to operate. That's what Bawumia is. They didn't lay any one cable of fiber optic. That gave the foundation for
That's a lie. I'm telling you, it's a lie.
Continue. Make your
Now
point.
make your people check for us. It's a lie.
We'll check. Don't worry.
We don't have. Didn't Bawumia say we don't have to borrow for roads? We don't have to borrow to build roads. We have to simply toll the roads and build here.
What lie to lie?
That we are building a brand new harbor in Cape Coast. It never was. Within 18 months of our assumption in office, no household will have a problem with toilet and water. We are still here. We won't go to the IMF. Taxes, we are going to move from taxation.
We all know why we went to IMF, Honorable.
Who sent us there in a collapsed nature?
COVID-19.
No, that COVID-19 and the Ukraine war has been demolished and thrown into the Zoom lion dustbin. It is not a theory to be used. Because in COVID-19, yes, it did happen. That is why we keep saying that it did happen. But the revenues accruing as a result of COVID-19 is more than enough to have written off all the challenges.
That's a lie again. It's a lie.
Kweku.
That's a lie.
Kweku.
You put in a room and put things in your mouth, come and say it. It is a lie.
Kweku.
One lie to do that.
Kweku, you know you have your time, right?
I have my time.
So
he can tell me.
So can you stop interrupting?
I haven't lied here.
Can you stop
We will not allow them to lie.
Please make your point.
It's a lie.
Honorable, make your point.
So you see how he's behaving.
Honorable.
They are so erratic. Before even the polls in this country show that your candidate Bawumia lacks credibility and that he cannot.
Credibility. We'll come to it.
He lacks
we'll come to credibility.
This is the same Bawumia who said they are going to build model schools in 16 regions for the Zongo communities. None has been built up to today, as we talk to you. This is Bawumia who said that he was going to change the economy from taxation to production, and he has slapped on us 40 different taxes since they came to power that we are paying.
But he says he was the mate.
The mate issue, you still want to go with the mate issue.
But that's what he said.
No, but that's what I'm saying, that we are on
No, you actually went longer, though. Your time is longer.
Because they run the economy, we were locked out of the international market. All the revenue streams that has been brought, the VAT and all, are IMF imposed. You have to do haircuts. That a former Chief Justice is sitting at the Ministry of Finance complaining about her investment. The investment of our pensioners have been taken, and they are not just taken, they're taken and they won't even pay. We have no credibility in the world. We have become a mocking country. You remember Nkonjo Iwealo, the Nigerian former finance minister, who is now the Director General of World Trade Organization. That Ghana's case is a sad one, and they pray that no country should ever get there. You remember the man in Kenya who was saying that there was a country in West Africa that everything was going on well, but mismanagement, stealing, corruption have brought us to where we are today.
Quickly, let's conclude. Quickly.
No.
This election.
Wait.
You've had your time. You have more than I had.
All right.
You don't.
We are concluding.
So,
honorable, your final word.
My final word is that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who has gained reputation as an international liar, cannot lead these people to the hope that he wants to give it to them. Chance has been given for the past 7 years. He's been lying up to today. We've proven him time and again. As a vice president, you are not running away from the president. This is the only vice president in the whole world that runs away from a government that he has been part for the past 7 years, and that now he should appropriate himself what is good and what is not good. That is President Akufo-Addo.
Anyway,
he's not a drama.
This particular conversation, I think that we'll have to bring it back again. We might have to bring it back again for the two of
that. What a wonderful economic
conclude.
He mentioned Professor Jambafo, Alain Tremantin, all of them, they've run away and left him out there because he's very...
30 seconds.
I am amazed.
You are amazed. You still have the temerity to tell me that you are amazed
at how they can write lines of lies for you.
What?
Come and sit here and recite them.
What I mentioned.
Check all their media engagement.
What?
Their lines.
All right, 30 seconds is up, and that will be all for the News Plus segment. My guests have been Honorable Timothy Awontorim and Kweku Kwashi. They've been here. Kweku Kwashi represented the NPP, and Honorable Timothy Awontorim represented the NDC. Thank you so much for joining us. We have other conversations coming your way. Do not tune out. Coming up next is What's Trending, and then we'll delve into the world of sports, and we'll bring you some health as well. My name is Rosalie Felix.
There you are, Phil.